All right. So now chunks of this were pretty easy. We are now on to the Phish Halloween shows here and the musical costume type shows. We have a total of 11 of them actually. Kind of added up on us here, you know. Several just traditional covering an album. Then we had some where we got an original Phish album. And then I don't know exactly what we got with Kasvot and Sci-Fi Soldier. So it's like the first two could have gone either way. Could have bounced them back and forth. Then we got like 3 through 6. Again, they all could have kind of been lumped together. And then 7, 8 could have flip-flopped, even 9, and then 10 and 11, Kasvot, Sci-Fi. I suppose I did like Kasvot. It's definitely seems to have some legs now with some of these songs over the last couple of summer tours really getting down. So I guess we will start at number 11. I've already given you 11 and 10. The Sci-Fi Soldiers and Kasvot, definitely an A for effort. Look, them coming out with an original album, songs that are going to continue to add to the catalog and we're going to get live. Don't necessarily need like a studio album out of either one of these. And Kasvot visually much cooler, I thought. The Sci-Fi Soldiers just wasn't a whole lot going on there. Now some of these songs do appear. We've gotten them a few more times. And I'm sure at some point we'll get some monster Sci-Fi Soldiers jam, one of those songs. Kasvot, I don't know if we've reached monster territory, but we've gotten some solid, B-plus jams, type 1 first set Kasvot jams, I believe. So not a total waste, the Kasvot Night in 2018, Sci-Fi back in 21. So that's numbers 11 and 10, respectively. And then we get on to number 8. I guess I could have flip-flopped perhaps 9 and 8, 8 and 9. But overall, I go with 2016, David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust. Not a whole, they just kind of ripped right through the album. It was played nicely. They looked nice. The fellows were dressed sharp that night, of course. It was the year David Bowie passed away, 2016 already now. That long ago. And so perhaps the lack of jamming is the thing there. Could have flip-flopped this with what I got at number 8, Wingsuit. Now, it's become, look, everybody's a little tired of Faygo. We never got the return of Amidst the Peals of Laughter, which I believe was a song played that night. And 555, a song that I've come to really like, played that night. So we could have flip-flopped that in Ziggy, but we got Wingsuit at number 18 from 2013, the original Phish album, Faygo. Then we get Waiting for Columbus. I thought that was a nice solid number 7. Not the greatest for them, although a few of the songs have hung on there a little bit. But for just a traditional, we're covering a classic rock album, this was maybe my least favorite. And I like Little Feat. Little Feat definitely has some things, some songs that I'm into. And then 6, 2009. Little Feat was 2010. The year before that, 2009, Exile on Main Street. That was a lot of fun that year. It was the year they had come back. They played some game. I think like maybe you weren't allowed to vote, or maybe you thought you were allowed to vote. They started out with a bunch of albums, 50 albums or something, like 50 days away from Halloween, and each day one was eliminated, something like this. And it was albums everywhere from like the Chili Peppers, maybe Nirvana, Guns N' Roses. I feel like Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction may have made it down to the nitty gritty. That was maybe at that point I was kind of rooting for that one. I don't know why, perhaps. Exile on Main Street, though, however, was the answer. Loving Cup. Got that before and after. And then Loaded, these top 5, 3 through 5 especially, kind of could have flip-flopped, alternated everywhere. I got Loaded at 98. Back when I first got into Phish, when this was released as a live Phish official, one that I just never got too deep into. Never was a Velvet. Every other band that they covered, at some point I was a fan and knew those albums. Yeah, never really was into Velvet Underground and Loaded. That was 1998. So then we got the Who's Quadrophenia, 1995 at number 4. And this was also the final year, the second and final year that they allowed fans to vote. The fans voted for Frank Zappa's Joe's Garage. And the band, for whatever reason, I don't know. Why would you let them vote, man? Well, you never know what these fans are going to give you. They gave you something, man. And, it seemed like that would have been awesome. That's what the fans wanted back in 1995. But Phish gave Joe's Garage a thumbs down. They said, no deal. Playing the Who's Quadrophenia instead. And, no exact reason. I don't know if the band has ever said directly, publicly, why. But just the fact that it's a complex album, there's a lot going on in that album, perhaps even some offensive lyrics, Phish was pretty woke, even back in 95. Zappa, however, when Joe's Garage come out, not the case. So who knows why they didn't play it, man. They might have been just like, look, we don't have enough time to learn all of those songs, all right? We want to play it well. So they go with the Who's Quadrophenia. instead of Zappa's Joe's Garage in 1995. That's what I had it for. And then the White Album, basically just because it was such a great album. The very first time they did it, they did let the fans vote for it in 1994. They chose the White Album. The Phish goes with the White Album. Apparently they played till like 2 or 3 in the morning that night. You know, I mean, I guess they played pretty late. The Chilling Thrilling, the one and only Halloween show that I was lucky enough to be in attendance for. Now, it was definitely like 3 or 4 in the morning back here, like in the Ohio time. But I don't really remember. I feel like maybe we got out of the MGM at 1:30 or so. You know, if a normal show ends at 11 or 11:30, this one ended at like 1 or 1:30, I suppose. Maybe later. I don't know. You guys, somebody watching this has probably been to some Halloween shows. How late was that the latest that ever ran that first year? Curfews, huh? Didn't exist in 1994 when they're playing the White Album. A lot of songs on the White Album. And very cool that they let the fans vote for it, and they went with what the fans voted for. I wonder if it was multiple choice, fill in the blank. How'd that work, man? I don't know. I was not into the Phish in 94. I should have been. After that summer. My God. Okay, so anyhow, then 2 and 1 could have obviously flip-flopped, I believe. Perhaps even Remain in Light should deserve the number 1 spot out of all the albums. Although Chilling Thrilling gets its nod in there too. I was going to say, out of all the albums that really changed the band, affected the band, improved the band even, shall I say. Remain in Light, covering that, learning that album, you know, really brought a Talking Heads feel to it. Several of the songs, you know, I think there were some Talking Heads they played before this. Cities, I believe, was before this. Not that Cities is on here or whatever, but then you know, still to this day, Cross-Eyed and Painless, we got a couple of psycho killers throughout, although I wish we got more of that. And then the Farmhouse album, well, you may not think it, you know, Trey playing with Tony and his other friend from Vermont really started to funk it up, and by the fall of 97, boom, you felt it. The Talking Heads presence was there, and throughout, really, all the way, and then the Chilling Thrilling, a little bit more. You know, learning and I guess covering the Chilling Thrilling. But really, they wrote a new album for that. It's not like there was like real music on the Chilling Thrilling album or whatever. So they also, and then Trey also, then the following summer did the Fare Thee Well. So the Chilling Thrilling combined with the Fare Thee Well, kind of like the Talking Heads combined with Farmhouse, led to big things in 2015. I don't know if 2015 compares to Fall at 97. Perhaps it does, man. They were both outstanding. They compare in that way. So we got the Chilling Thrilling at number 1. We got Remain in Light at 2-0. White Album at 3. Quadrophenia and Loaded at 4 and 5. Exile on Main Street 6. Little Feat's Waiting for Columbus at 7. Phish's Fago Wingsuit at 2013. Still this guy hoping they bring back Amidst the Peals of Laughter. Although, you know, if you're trading tapes, I don't know what you're going to do there. Even making still copying shows on CDs. And then we ended out 9, 10, and 11 from 2016, 18, and 21. David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, the Kasvot Vox, and the Sci-Fi Soldiers. I hate to use the word worst, but the worst of the Phish Halloween shows. I hope they didn't feel the vibe. I hope everybody there was loving it. So they were like, hey, man. Maybe it doesn't. Hopefully that didn't just like put the nail in the old Halloween show coffin. I was in Asheville seeing Billy Strings. Not ashamed to admit it, especially now that Trey sat in with him. It's like, oh yeah, it's cool, dude. I like Billy Strings. Boom. I liked Billy Strings before you did. A lot of people liked him before me. Boy, could you imagine if Trey had played, Billy and the band had played a Dead song with Trey? My God. The jam band mind in all of us.